our buddies and we like to play games in the new Bear Buddies.
Hello, and welcome
Hi.
back to Bear Buddies.
Welcome back. Yo.
Welcome to another splendiferous episode of... Oh, fuck.
It's going really well. Good start.
GTA.
Start the episode again.
Cool, where are we going?
What are we doing? What are we doing on this GTA playthrough?
What? Strangers and freaks? No, we don't want that. We probably need to swap player.
Oh.
Let's see what missions they've got going on.
Oh, man. Cool. Awesome. Man.
So, if you were watching our Undertale playthrough, which may or
Yes.
may not be out now.
We'll release something, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a little spoiler. We don't get around to talking about Knives Out, really. We do a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But what did you think of Glass Onion?
Yes. So, yeah, we definitely didn't get onto Glass Onion.
We spoke about Knives Out, but we didn't
yes.
speak about Glass.
So, yeah,
Okay,
good.
let's try Michael.
Again, I think I really enjoyed Glass Onion. I think there were definitely a few things which felt like they were coincidences in the favour of the protagonists, which I was having a sort of read through some storytelling toots recently, and apparently that's one thing that like is generally preferable to avoid. So you can like do you can do coincidences that detriment the protagonist, but then when you make them in favour of the protagonist, then it feels unearned, if that makes sense. So for example, like the again, spoilers for for Glass Onion, when the what's the name, Cassandra, is it? The lady that's playing her sister, whose sister is named Cassandra.
Yeah,
that is Cassandra. I can't remember what her sister's called, but when she gets shot,
Helen.
Helen. Let's go with Helen. It goes into like the little book that's like it's like a sort of 2x4 inch book or something that's in the inside pocket of her. Which is very convenient. Which is fine. I guess like maybe that's Rian Johnson sort of what's the word? Doing a commentary on these kind of stories. What was it? I'm sure there was one or two other things, but on the whole, I thought it was really fun. Great cast of characters. Is it interesting chronology as well? That was
he really messed around with like that, which was cool. I enjoyed unconventional storytelling almost.
Absolutely. What were your
because you basically restart the film halfway through.
Exactly.
I thought that it was fun. The first one is one of my favourite films of all time.
Cool.
And so I was like, had kind of high expectations going into it. Second one, I thought was... There you go. Second one I thought was it's difficult. I think it's a bit like I had the same kind of thought with Guardians of the Galaxy, is that like once you've made one really successful film, you then have to do the impossible job of like, can I steal that bike now? I've just rescued it. You then have to do the impossible job of like recreating the magic without it feeling forced, if you know what I mean. Whereas I feel like and I really like Guardians 2 now that I know it, but when I first watched it, I think we've spoken about this on the show, for me it felt a little bit off. Self-aware, but not in a good way. Like, because the first one was such a surprise success.
No, absolutely.
I think James Gunn wrote in the way that he wanted to write the story, whereas the second one, it felt a bit like he was like, well, now people know these characters and they know what to expect from this story, so I'm writing to the stereotypes. Like Drax is such an idiot in the second one. And I'm like, he was an idiot in the first one, but he was like menacing.
Wasn't such of an idiot, yeah.
Yeah, and then he just became the comic relief, and I was like, in the first one, he was the comic relief, and he was also something else.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like an uneasy presence, and I felt a bit like that got the treatment with this one. Like, I'm not sure how I felt about like Benoit Blanc playing Among Us in the bath. Like, I
sure.
The point of it for the story.
It was very pop culture, yeah.
Yeah, and I've read some articles about Glass Onion, which kind of changed my mind a little bit, but I didn't get them initially on watching. But what I love about the first one is, like, although it's set very clearly in modern day, it still feels like completely timeless.
Yeah, sure.
Like, you know, there's like people on phones, but it's in like a big grand old house, and it's
absolutely,
like a very... And this is all about like tech.
The second one is much more like 60s
tech startups and stuff like that. Yeah,
James Bondy, which is funny having Daniel Craig in a James Bondy film, but not James Bond.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I really liked it, and I was slightly, I guessed who the killer was.
Okay, yeah.
For different motives, but
okay. What were your thoughts?
Like I thought initially when they got on the island, I was like, I thought maybe he was going to be broke. Spoilers for Glass Onion, by the way.
Yeah.
Know it's a man. I thought it was going to be something to do with like he was broke and he would like fake his own death as some sort of insurance thing and set it up like a murder so that it was blamed on one of them.
Yeah.
And then it would reveal that, I don't know, maybe he accidentally killed himself or maybe he was still alive. And, But either way, I thought, I kind of guessed it was him, but I didn't guess, you know, I didn't see the twin sister coming and stuff like that. Which I thought was cool. I think that he does a, you know, good job of still being subversive and being like, well, here's a story you think you know and here's elements which you don't like, and then like the whole basically starting the film again from the beginning halfway through, I think is like cool, but yeah
it's a really tricky one, that, because I guess like generally if you're gonna do a story where you tell it several times through or something like Pulp Fiction or whatever, or I'm sure there's better examples, but like you're gonna knock him off. Jesus Christ.
Boom.
Yeah, like I guess generally you want to tell those that story through different characters. So it's different perspectives essentially. Whereas I guess with this one, it was like our protagonist. Well, do we have a protagonist? I guess like it felt like Daniel Craig was the protagonist. Like we were almost experiencing
in the
through
first
his
one,
perspective.
It
was her. Yeah.
Fuck.
It was the girl. You moron.
No. I don't want to get in this car. I want to get on this. It felt. I will say it felt like really nice development for his character though as well. Like it was nice to see him.
Oh, definitely.
It's nice to see him at home with his partner or husband or whatever.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Fun little cameo.
Yeah, that was great.
That was the one thing I had spoiled for me, so I knew it was coming. But
oh, really? Okay. Yeah. That was fun. That was fun. Yeah, I guess so. In this one, we were kind of hearing it through his perspective, but then, like, he already knew when it played through the second time. We were also hearing it through his perspective, but just bits that we hadn't been told before. So,
yeah.
Like that almost felt like that felt like maybe we were being withheld information, but
yeah.
Not necessarily in a bad way. It's like definitely
no. I mean, I guess like that. I guess that's what he's doing, isn't it? Like, he is withholding information from the people
absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense to put the audience in that seat as well and be like, oh,
yeah. I guess for example, like the when Dave Bautista's character was watching his girlfriend being lewd with
Eben Norton,
with the antagonist. Like, it shows it the first time, and it looks like she's just having an affair, and then it shows it the second time, and it makes it obvious that the reason Dave Bautista is angry is because the guy isn't going to do what he wants in terms of like his girlfriend was asking for. But I guess again, both times we're sort of hearing that through Daniel Craig's perspective, or is it maybe the second time it's through Helen's
Andy's
perspective?
Helen's perspective, possibly. I don't know what missions we're supposed to be doing right now. I don't know how to find them if they're not on here. Sorry.
No worries. No.
Yes. Yeah.
We passed that one. We passed that one. Well, that's pretty good. I tell you what. Why do we? Since we passed a mission, shall we pick up the next one next time on?
Do it next time, and we'll carry on talking about Glass Onion. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Awesome. See you guys later.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, coming up next, the glass arsehole. The
glass hole.